Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming and tuning into the panel. As the panel title suggests, today we'll be talking about Hashrate expansion in the Middle East. I'm Stone Merker. I'm the editor-in-chief of Blockspace Media to lead these insights.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it's very pleasure to just attend these panels. Yeah, it's also the second time I'm being here to just introduce the related topics. So I'm right from MicroBT. I'm happy to introduce all kind of development from our company and maybe for this industry.
Thanks for the intro, y'all. So what initially attracted Bitcoin miners to the Middle East? I feel like the Middle East was not a location that was on many people's radars maybe a few years ago, when it's rapidly become a destination for certain miners. There are a lot of positives about coming to the region. So Emmanuel, starting with you, and Francesca, we will go to you and finish the deal right. What were some of the things that attracted miners to this region specifically?
Mining business is not a complex business. The actually is quite simple. If you can find the good cost of energy, and also you have maybe open environment, I mean the social environment friendly to the crypto. Yeah, this is a good place for everyone to start his business. So here we see that we can easy to just find some good cost of the energy, and also it's maybe the attitude from the government should also just friendly to the crypto. So it's easy for anyone to think about run this business here from the scratch. This is maybe from our study, I think it's in roughly ideas or mind, for the business.
What are some of the special considerations miners have to think about when they're operating in Sweden?
I think from the ROI point, I think from economic models, everyone to just calculate the payback period before they just invest on the mining. So the stable operations will be key for them to just maybe run this business. And also we study about that, maybe how to just get the stable maybe operations based on the technology and the environment. From technical side, I see compared to US, we may need to just support the team, not only just one facilities. Actually, if you just maybe run the business individually, it's very dangerous or risk for you to just have plenty resources to continue that business. And also you need to just think about maybe the regulations and the education from government. So all of these things will be the key for the wine investors to just maybe contribute all their effort on one side to continue this business. This is a different nice thing with what might impact for the mining or investors.
I can't emphasize that enough, is you need the right partner to do business in the Middle East. And the second point I would say, and something that a lot of people get drawn to the Middle East for, is no taxes on personal income and the ability to have low power costs. But it also comes at the expense that it's a very demanding environment to do Bitcoin mining. And a lot of people are doing air cooling here in the UAE, and it's frying hash boards, there's corrosion on the hash board. It's very difficult for actual ASICs to operate here in the Middle East. And a lot of people, I believe you guys are all doing full hydro. I believe that's the only way to do Bitcoin mining in the Middle East successfully long term.
I'm glad that you mentioned machines specifically, and I want to direct this to you first, right? And then I'll have you two jump in with which machines you think are the most desirable. You kind of answered it just there, though. Right, what models is MicroBT seeing the most interest from in the Middle East? Which model is MicroBT selling the most of to this region?
Yeah, just Emily mentioned, actually in these basic areas, the environment is hot, and we need to just maybe think about how to just run the models stable. So the Hashrate will be a very good choice for anyone to start his minings here. And also you can just try some immersions. Actually, all of this immersion or liquid would just maybe put your minings into the liquid or just isolate from the airs. So it's not easy for you to just have stable operations for that. Of course, I think every just maybe investors or miners in Middle East also realize about that. And this is also the good choice, from the Middle East customers to just pick up hydro or immersions here. And I think, currently we just say maybe we established a strong relationship with some main players and distributors here. So most of the Middle East customers also just acquired our product through our distributors. So we see maybe faster growth here in the Middle East. I think we will just have more data after these meetings and shared with anyone who is interested on that.
So when we started thinking about developing a mining farm here, we had only two options that were immersion and hydro. It's not possible bring anything ARPA. So we started to try to study what to do because also for hydro you have two options, dry coolers or water towers. And our choice was hydro with dry coolers because it's, I think, easier to handle than immersion, but it can work in a proper way also in a long-term period if you do the setup in the right way. Since we had good climate conditions in Samarang, we were able to choose the dry coolers instead of the wet towers because the temperature doesn't rise too much. They don't arrive at 40 degrees, for example. And so dry coolers were an option. We studied a lot to understand what was the proper facility, what to choose, and if we had the right condition to do with dry coolers, and we were able to do them. We are running them for more than 1 year right now, and we are really satisfied of the operation because, as also Wright said, it's really stable. The uptime is really high, and it worked properly.
Anything to add there, Emmanuel? Or
It was pretty much that.
so we've talked about the UAE, we've talked about Oman. Do we feel like those countries will probably see the biggest hash rate growth in the Middle East? Are there any other countries that are in play? Where do we expect to see the most growth, or where do y'all expect to see the most growth? Emmanuel, I'll start with you, and then we can move down.
I believe it's going to be based on what the governments want. It's not any of our kind of decision. It's going to be based on what the governments want, what the leaders of these countries feel is going to be best for their country and for their people. We're just guests, and but if I had to guess, I would probably say that right now it's definitely, I believe, Oman and the UAE, but this could change. And there are multiple countries in this region that have the ability to really scale up very quickly. And I think it's going to be exciting to see who goes first. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I guess the similar feedback from our customers is the immersion, mentioned. So I do not want any comments here.
So I agree with Emmanuel. For sure, Oman is a good place, but we will need to see how the government will support any kind of expansion, because right now there are 2 licenses only of around 600 megawatts, and we will have to see how will be the developments in the future. UAE also is a good region. We see a lot of listed companies coming here and starting developing their operation. Climate conditions are kind of different, so we see more immersion operation than hydro operation in UAE. But for sure, it's also a project supported by the government and also by local funds. And so it will be a country that will develop mining a lot. Till we see if other regions will follow by, maybe yes, I think so, also because here there is a lot of capital that can be invested in these operations, but there are not so many investment opportunities. So I think that there will be a lot of growth in the future here.
So working with the government and making sure that the government has given their stamp of approval for these things has come up a lot. It's a consideration, obviously, miners operating in this region need to think about. What are some of the other key differences between doing business in, say, North America or South America versus the Middle East when you're setting up a mining operation?
I can start with our example. The first country we developed a mining farm outside Italy where we started was Paraguay. And it was a project not supported by the government. There were a lot of business opportunities. We went there. We developed more than 35 megawatts there. And one day, under that, the utility company decided to increase electricity costs by 15%. And that was from the day after, and miners couldn't do anything but try to negotiate with them. While what we can have here is a project supported directly by the government with a 5-year PPA. That means that we will have a stable price for the next 5 years. And so, it's more safe to invest in a country like that than in other countries. In the US also, we see a lot of regulation that is changing. It changes because of politics. It changes because of how it's going for regulation, and also there is a variety on electricity prices. It's kind of difficult to have PPA at good price, so you need to go directly with the utility company at market. But market means it can be there can be variations in the energy price. So what I can see here is that you can build a project in which you know from the beginning what will be like the variabilities of your project. You can have a PPA at a stable price. You can have everything well regulated, and so it's safer to site.
Yeah, actually, I think everyone knows why Bitcoin price just reached all-time high. So after Trump just win, and he just showed the strong positive, maybe attitude for the Bitcoin mining at Bitcoin. So I think right now, with such kind of hot environment, all kind of support chain, like the exchanger, like the maybe manufacturers, like the self-minings, just booming in US. So this is good examples of things we can take as examples for others. Also, we study a lot how to support maybe other countries to just development. If they like to invest on Bitcoin mining or even just support crypto. So I think compared to US, this is I can just maybe treat US as maybe agent and the pilot who will just be more experienced for the other countries to follow up.
To me, the biggest distinction between mining in the UAE or in the Middle East in general and in America, I would say by far the biggest thing is that in America you can buy land or you can lease it, and you know pretty sure that you're going to have a lease for the next 10 years, for 15, 20 years, or you own that property. But the same rights don't apply here, and I think that's a challenge, especially for setting up proper infrastructure. Unless you have the proper partner with proper licenses, or you have affiliation with the government, and you're able to secure long-term leases that you're comfortable investing large sums of money into, because Bitcoin mining infrastructure, sure, it's not as capital intensive as AI, but you're looking at somewhere between $272,000 and $350,000 per megawatt to deploy in the Middle East. And this could be even more if you're doing hydro. So I think having the security of a land lease that's going to be around for 5-10 years, at least multiple Bitcoin mining cycles, halvings. Having that security is something that you do have in the United States, and that is a little less, you don't have as much security here, and that's good from my experience.
Looking a little further into the business considerations, what is access to capital like here? Who are the key players investing in the Bitcoin mining operations? And how different is it when you're trying to fundraise or find investors for an operation here versus maybe other markets? Manuel, maybe we can start with you and then move down.
Sure. So my previous company was a drinking water company in Hawaii, and I sold that and took that capital to start Terra Solutions. So my company was bootstrapped, and we never looked for funding. So I can't really comment on that. But
Yeah, I think maybe except the traditional infrastructures, yeah, we also just maybe from technical, we try to just maybe help everyone from the extra energies like the solar panels. But I think in the futures, we will find the diversities from all investors on such things.
So we are an Italian company, and that's something strange for the mining industry. And so this led us something strange again. We have a European fund that invested in our company because we are one of the only opportunity they have in Europe to invest. So the fund we raised were from an Italian fund, Azul. And so right now we didn't have any opportunity to raise money in the Middle East. I think that we will do that in the future because are the market opportunities that we will find. For sure, what I think is really key important information is that here there are a lot of business opportunities, but for the investors, there are not a lot of companies established here in which they can directly invest. So I think that there is a lot of capital that can be deployed, and so I think there will be good opportunities for the future here.
All right, we've got 1 minute, lightning round, 30 seconds each. What are some of the things that people overlook or don't think about when we're talking about Bitcoin mining in the Middle East? Like, first thing that comes to mind, what's the most overlooked factor? Francesco, we'll start with you.
I think long-term investment, it means that it's easy to build out something by scratch at the beginning, but your investment has to last. So it means that you will need stable energy, you will need efficient miners, and you will need strong regulation. And also, it's important not to go on during the bull run and say, oh, I have to build a mining operation, but it's important to invest in the bear periods as it was some months ago.
I think right now, just as you mentioned, mining business is simple and actually is mature right now. So everyone just knows the logic of the minings. So we need to just maybe think about, except the minings, we still have some side applications such as heating recycling and some other applications which will help you to just become friendly for the socials and bring values, the extra values besides the minings. So currently I think a lot of, just examples appeared in this industries. Also we see some social maybe community just use the heating recycling for the building heatings and also just gain the profit for that. So besides the minings, I just want anyone to focus on the technical development. Besides the side applications, also some other maybe trade from technical side, like the solar panel minings or some other green energy minings would be also application solutions for anyone to think about that.
for me, the number one thing is that I see so many people reach out to companies across the Middle East for ASIC miner hosting, and they want to be hosted here because there's no personal income tax, there's low power costs, but a lot of things that they talk about is who they're choosing as their partner. I can't stress that enough. The partnerships that you have are by far the most important for having a successful long-term investment. Bitcoin mining is not one of those things that you just set up and then you do a 20x overnight and then you sell. Bitcoin mining is essentially a dollar cost average every single day through the ups and downs, and that you just hope that if I start mining today, 5 years from now, it'll be worth it. Or let's say 3, 4, depending on the type of miner that you deploy and its longevity. But I would say that making sure that you have the right partners, that you can get really good uptime and verify who you're working with, that's the most important.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, y'all. Really appreciate the insights. Let's give it up for our wonderful panelists here. And everyone enjoy the conference. Have a good day. Thank you guys for tuning in.